What secrets are people hiding from you? Pick a card. Here are your piles. We'll see you in your reading. Hi, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out, what secrets do people want to keep hidden from you? I'm getting on this. It could be family members, friends, communities, ex-coworkers and bosses, and exes. So this particular secretive person is someone who likes to play games. They like to play mind games because it makes them feel powerful inside. It's fun for them, because whenever they can boost their ego, oh, game on. They're ready for it. This particular secretive person wanted to keep hidden that they're actually a karmic. There's someone that wants to put you in third-party situations. They feel like they're teaching you a lesson or trying to make you, to humble you in some way, shape, or form, but they're really just a karmic. They're someone who's toxic. So I'm getting X vibes on this. They want to put you in a third-party situation so that you're not the only option there is, and get your self-esteem low, like you got competition. They were being stingy when they were giving and receiving with you. They just didn't want to give you any of their energy or their time. That's what they wanted to keep secret from you, is that they were deliberately holding back from you. Secretly, they knew that you would be someone for the long haul that they could invest in, but they chose not to do that. They chose to be stingy and not to invest their time with you because they felt like that was a way that they could humble you. But here you were, someone who is going to be a ride or die with someone else. You will build with someone else, or you already have gone into another partnership with someone else. You have this secretive person. Their characteristics consist of someone who likes to gather information, and they're trying to gather information on you. They want to get the tea. They want to get the gossip. They want to find out what you got going on. And usually what they want to find when it comes to what you got going on is they want to find out all the bad stuff that you have going on with you, or the rumors that aren't even true about you. This is what they want to gather in terms of collecting information, researching resources. This particular secretive person, they kept secret that they actually are single. They're ready to mingle. They're ready for a relationship. They're on the hunt. They want to build and get something for the long term, and they want to date. But they kept that secret from you. They were really self-aware of what they were doing by withholding that information that they were single, that they were ready, and they were looking for a relationship. But yet they were aware that they were procrastinating in giving you an offer. So I'm getting, again, X vibes on this, or just a crush or someone that was interested in you, that was procrastinating and giving you an offer. And they were procrastinating because they didn't want to be blunt and honest. They didn't want to have a heart-to-heart with you. They're keeping that secret, is that they probably really did have feelings for you, but they wanted to hold that back from you. They didn't want to be honest or truthful about their intentions. And in the end, they realized that you were someone who had harmony and balance, but yet they wanted to be secretive about the fact that they really did like you, and they really did want to get to know you and date you, but their ego wouldn't allow them to do so, because they're someone that likes to play games. They would have to put themselves on the line, and they could potentially be rejected. So they had to hold back being honest with you. And that's why they kept it a secret. You have this particular secretive person. There's someone who's stagnant, because I'm getting, rendezvous point. Someone who is just, you're at a standstill at this particular location. And so This particular secretive person who's stagnant, they wanted to keep secret that they were someone that was greedy. They were inconsiderate. They were only thinking about themselves and how they could benefit. They wanted to keep secret that they were expecting something to come from this connection that they had with you. Whether it be friendship, whether it be love relationship. They were hoping that they were expecting something to grow from it. But what they were keeping secret as well is that their behavior was irrational because they weren't putting any effort into even growing the relationship as they're a stagnant person. So here they're stagnant, they're giving you stagnant energy, but then they're expecting something to grow from your partnership. So in a friendship sense, it's one-sided. You're the one putting all this effort, but they're not putting any effort. But then they expect it to grow. The whole time you were in a state of leaving and skirting off and running and escaping because you realize these people, their idea of building connections means you do all the building while they sit back and do nothing. You have this particular secretive person who's very icy and cold. They don't have much empathy. That's what I get on this card. So if you're going through any type of suffering, they'll just act regular, like, oh well. They don't really care about, they don't have emotions when it comes to having empathy for people. And they're very ice cold. This particular secretive person, they were keeping hidden from you that they were laughing at you behind the scenes. They were making fun of you. They were gossiping, asking other people about you in some type of community, whether it would be a family community, gossiping about you. They want to hear the tea and figure out what's going on. But they're looking for the bad stuff about you that probably just made up and not even true. And they're gossiping and they're laughing about you as they're hearing the gossip. And they're also spreading the rumors about you. And the rumors that they're spreading is that you're someone who's very codependent and that you probably need other people. Your life is a shit show and you need people for assistance. And so that's what the rumors they're spreading about you and then laughing about it. Whole time, you're someone who's good vibes, you're present in the moment. And in order for you to be in that chill state, you've had worked on yourself to be in this emotionally peaceful and balanced state. You have this particular secretive person who they present themselves as someone who's growing. That's what I get by garden. Someone who blossoms and grows and cares for themselves. This is what they presented to you. They wanted to keep hidden from you was that they're emotionally imbalanced. They have a lot of emotions when it comes to you. They're all fired up and their emotions are going every which way. The reason they're going every which way and what they wanted to keep hidden from you is that they were toxic, where you had to serve them and they didn't have to put any work in or do anything for you because they're more important than you are. Whole time, you're someone who's this snack. You're someone who's very attractive. There's a lot of people that find you desirable. And so this toxic masculine knows this. They try to present themselves as someone who grows, but whole time there's someone who's toxic and a toxic masculine, and they're the ones that's obsessed with you because they're attracted to you. That's what they're keeping secret. You have this secretive person represented by the museum. They like to present themselves as something that looks really good as a beautiful display. That could be anybody, could be friends or family members, that exes, just anyone that wants to present themselves as someone who is a beautiful display, what it looks like on the surface. They wanted to keep hidden from you that they were recalling all of these good memories. So I'm getting on this past people that you've left in your past, that are reminiscing on how much they miss you because they've had such good times with you. But they're keeping that secret. They're keeping that hidden. They're keeping it hidden that they're very upset that you repossessed your power and you left them behind because you knew your worth and you knew your value. They're angry that you decided to take your power back. Deep down, they know that they were someone that was unfaithful, disloyal. They're the ones that betrayed you. They did you dirty. They spread rumors about you. They stabbed you in the back, and they were happy to have done that. And then they were hoping that that wouldn't, with spilling the beans reversed, they were hoping that that would not get revealed. Their betrayal would not get revealed, but it did. It did get revealed that they were disloyal, and that's why you had to leave them behind. Spirit, are there any more descriptions you'd like to provide for me regarding these secretive people? I'm getting Aries, someone who has a life path as a peacemaker, someone who's a Pisces, someone with dark wavy hair, Asian, someone with piercings, someone who works in the education industry, someone who works in government, a grandpa. Grandpa was being shady towards you. He want to keep hidden from you. Grandpa told some stuff on you and hoped that you didn't know it was him that did it. Told information to your other family members that you're not in contact with, and he's hoping you don't know it's him that did it. Someone in the biotech industry who tried to keep things hidden from you. Someone in the transportation industry. A boomer. Are there any other takeaways that you'd like to provide to Pile 1 Spirit? I teach people how to treat me. That's a great quote. You teach people how to treat you when you decide whether you tolerate something or you don't tolerate something. Those are the messages I have for you, Pile 1. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Plus comment if any of these messages resonated with you. I offer personal readings and the details are in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out, what secrets do people want to keep hidden from you? I'm getting that this could be family members, friends, communities, co-workers, bosses, or exes that could be represented in these piles. This first secretive person, this is someone who presents themselves as someone who's moving forward, just like this train. They're on a move. They keep moving forward towards their ambitions, their drive, their goals. At least this is what they're presenting to you, right? But what they wanted to keep hidden from you was that they were greedy, they were inconsiderate, they would win at all costs by any means necessary to win. They wanted to keep hidden from you that they were in denial. So they were in denial in the fact that the way they treated you, where they were being greedy, they were being inconsiderate. And some of the scenarios in which they're greedy and inconsiderate is in a family sense. They're saying, well, you know, we want you to do something a certain way, or we want your time. We know that you need it for yourself to build your goals, to make yourself happy, but we don't care about what makes you happy. We care about demanding something out of you and you meeting our demands. That's an example of greed and inconsideration. In a friendship sense, it's the same where they're saying, well, we want to be able to put you down in the friendship, but then we also need you because you're good vibes. So that's another way of being inconsiderate and greedy and selfish, where they need you, but yet they want to be able to project their negative energy onto you, and they want you to be their punching bag at the same time. And they're in denial about these types of inconsiderations and this greed that that they put onto you. And what's hidden as well that they didn't want you to know was that they're resentful, they're competitive, and they're discontent in their own lives. So in a family sense, they're discontent, or maybe they're jealous of you because they see that you've achieved certain things that they didn't achieve. So they're jealous of that, and they're angry because they could have made different decisions, but they didn't. And what happened in this situation is that you cut ties with them because you wanted freedom. You wanted to be free of people who were placing their projections onto you, trying to make you hurt because they hurt. You had an awakening that you have the right to stand up for your own life, make your life what you want to make it. Nobody has to force you to do things that, or push their own agenda or push their own choices onto you. You get to decide what freedom looks like for you, as long as you're not harming anyone else. You're just trying to live a good life for you. You have this secretive person or persons that exhibit qualities of being social. You know, they go to pubs and they go get drinks, and they're people that are into traditions. So they like to do their, have their association with their groups of people. This secretive person or persons, they didn't want you to know that they were out gambling, kind of being frivolous with their money and just throwing money away with the gambling, like not having limits. There's one thing about gambling, but the limits about it, where you just keep going and going and going and losing lots of money. So that's what I mean by frivolous. Going to, not necessarily going to Vegas, like partying a lot, like frequent partying. That's some of the things they didn't want you to know about what they were doing. They wanted to present themselves as someone who was a mentor, someone who had wisdom, someone who gives back and is nurturing. That's what they want to present. But then what's hidden is that they did operate in a way that is very reckless. And that's why they had to keep that hidden from you. Deep down, they also wanted to keep hidden that they were broken, shattered. They feel like a failure in their life. They didn't achieve the things that they wanted to achieve in life. When they look at you, it makes them have to look at themselves. But they're going to keep that hidden, that they feel that. Whole time you're someone who's very nurturing and mothering towards yourself. You have enough self-love and nurturing for your own self that you're willing to make decisions that is going to make sure that your needs are met at all times. And you're willing to put yourself first before you help others. So as they say, when you get on an airplane, you always put the mask on yourself before you put it on others. You have that kind of mindset. That mask will always go on me first before it goes on anyone else. You have this other secretive person represented by the temple. There's someone that presents themselves as someone who reflects, someone who thinks about their life, what they can do, what they can change, what they've learned. This is what they present. They wanted to keep hidden from you that they're actually a narcissist. They're very egotistical. They're all about, I'm going to win at all costs. I'm on top. I'll take opportunities that I can benefit while it screws you in the end. Their ego's very fragile. So any little movement that you make when it comes to them, they take that as an offense. So, for example, let's say you used to interact with this narcissist, but then you moved on and you went, maybe you went to the same class or something. You were in a class with a narcissist. You went to a different class because that class didn't work for you. The narcissist thinks it's about them. They think you made that decision to leave the class because of them, but you actually changed classes because you just needed to take a new class, not the one that you're in. But the narcissist always thinks that everything revolves around them. So they'll take that as an offense. Oh, you did this because of me. But we're not thinking about you. This so-called reflective, secretive person also doesn't want you to know that they're trapped. They feel trapped. They feel stuck. They feel like they don't have any options in life. Those are the feelings that they have, but they want to keep that secret from you. The whole time you're this person that's very, you're mutually respectful. So you're respectful to yourself and you're respectful to others, but you also expect for others to show the same type of respect in order to create this level of unity and closeness. You have this particular secretive person. Their characteristics consist of a life that is very much so very breezy, very whirling winds, kind of almost like just going all over the place. So I'm getting their life is a bit chaotic. I would say their decision making is chaotic as well. It's unpredictable. I'm getting on windswept and breezy gusts. You're not really expecting certain decisions or actions to take place with this particular secretive person or persons. They wanted to keep secret from you that they're not in harmony or balance with their own life. They don't know whether they're going or coming. They're confused. They don't know what to do in terms of direction in their own life. They wanted to keep that hidden from you, that they weren't really clear about where they stood in their own life. They didn't want you to know that they were exhausted, they were burned out, and empty. So I'm getting that maybe they just try to meet the demands of everyone else around them. So they've burned themselves out by doing that. They're worn out, but they're not, they want to keep that secret that they're worn out and tired and they're burdened. But these obligations that they're trying to keep is probably for an appearance. So maybe they're trying to upkeep an appearance. And so that can be exhausting. When you wear a mask, that's exhausting. So that burns you out. People pleasing burns you out. Trying to make people believe that you're a nice person, that burns you out. They don't want you to know all of this. Whole time you're someone who's very inspired, you're optimistic, and you're successful. But the success, it's not so much always about all like having lots of money. You could be doing well financially, or you seem to be stable, or you are stable, but you're inspired because you're like, let me figure out what else I can do to keep making my life better. And you're looking at all areas of your life where you can make that happen for yourself. You have this secretive person represented by Park. There's someone who I get on Park, you know, you're kind of at a standstill. You're retreated at this park. So I'm thinking someone who is kind of stagnated. They haven't moved in any way when it comes to their life. It potentially could be that whatever steps they're taking is not getting them anywhere, or the things that they're investing in aren't making anything move for them. This particular secretive person or persons, they wanted to keep hidden from you that they want a second chance with you. So they must have done something bad to you. They must have done something that betrayed you, which made you leave them. That could be anything from a family where the family may have betrayed you. They have mistreated you, treated you like a black sheep, or stabbed you in the back. They're having nostalgia about you. They remember the good times and how much of a good vibration you had towards them. Same thing with exes. They feel like, wow, I can get a second chance with pile two. I'm thinking about the nostalgia in the past. Everything was good and positive. They're also keeping hidden that they do think that it's just a break. That separation that you have with them is a break. And that's why they have this wishful thinking that we'll get a second chance with pile two. Pile two is just taking a break and going on vacation to relax. They're also keeping hidden that they're confused and perplexed. They're also conflicted because you gave them the silent treatment. You're not speaking to them. You may have, if they're narcissistic or they use narcissistic tactics and strategies with their gaslighting or manipulation strategies, you might gray rock them. So gray rock means that you might give yes and no answers. You don't give a lot of details about your life, so they can't use it as a weapon at a later date, right? So you may gray rock, or you may have gone full no contact with these people. They're perplexed and confused about it because they don't ever self-reflect to figure out what they did wrong. And you're in this state where you're good vibes, you're in the moment, and you had to work really hard to be in those good vibes, because it's constantly having to have affirmations that your life is going to be okay, you're going to do fine, even if there may be any type of instability. You have this other secretive person or persons. Their traits consist of doing what everybody else is doing. That's what I get off of livestock. Is just like a herd. So kind of doing what the herd does. They wanted to keep hidden from you that they wanted to be your authority. They wanted to call the shots in your life. So in a family sense, the mother or the older brother, they just want to be able to be the authority in your life who calls the shots. They want to be the driver while you're the passenger, but it's your car. But they're keeping that hidden, that was their intentions. They also wanted to keep it secret from you that they are missing you. They want a reunion. They remember how when you guys used to have dinners together, or an ex who remembers having dinners with you and hanging out and having fun, or friends who used to hang out with you and enjoy those, wine tasting events, or just having fun together. And going out for dinner or to the movies. They're longing for you because you were enjoyable to be around. Whole time you realize that all this drama and all these arguments that these people presented to you, you were incompatible with them, because here you were good vibes while they just wanted drama and arguments with you. So you came to that realization, and that's why you had to part ways. Spirit, can you give me some descriptions regarding these secretive people? I got a Taurus, someone with dark straight hair, a millennial, someone that's Caucasian. Ooh, I got Gen Z and hobosexual. So someone who wanted to use you up for room and board. I got a stranger. So maybe in stranger, it's someone that you left behind that you now treat like a stranger. Leo, I got Latinx that fell out, someone with brown eyes. Friends. Spirit, are there any takeaways that you would like me to provide to pile 2? My words and actions are of beauty, compassion, and love. So every time you take actions in life, you make sure in your words, they are backed up by compassion for self, love for self, and all of that will be reflected in the way you live, and you will be able to live a beautiful life. Those are the messages I have for you, pile 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded, plus comment if any of these messages resonated with you. I offer personal readings, and the details are in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Hi, pile 3, welcome to your reading. Let's find out, what secrets do people want to keep hidden from you? I'm getting on this. It could be family members, friends, coworkers and bosses, exes, and communities. This first secretive person or persons, they're represented by grassland. So there's someone who presents themselves as someone who's looking for greener pastures. I would say they're looking for something better. So this person who's looking for greener pastures or searching for it, they're trying to keep hidden from you that they feel like they need to apologize to you. because they were arrogant. They made some rash decisions and they were very insincere. So they may have been wearing a mask in front of you. They may have been thinking about themselves first when it came to their connection with you. So in an ex sense, they were saying, I'm the one that, you know, what I want matters and you don't matter. In a family sense, they're arrogant because they're like, oh, well, we get to lead your life for you because we know better and you don't know better, but then you're like a grown adult. So you've already been on your own journey in life. So you want to be able to guide your own life and decide what's going to make you happy based upon the lessons you've learned in your own life as a grown adult. They also wanted to keep hidden from you that they're lost, they have depression, they don't want you to know, whether it's a family member, an ex, due to this separation or this conflict that they've had with you. They don't want you to know that they feel hopeless. They know, but they don't want to. They want to keep it secret that they know that you were someone who was respectful towards them, but they weren't respectful towards you. So it was just a one-way respect. And they know that they needed to show respect for you in order for there to be unity, but they didn't want to do that because they were caught up in their ego, and they're the ones that get to dominate you. Whole time you're the person that's in possibilities. You want to follow your dreams. You want to focus on your goals. You've made up your mind about what type of life you want to live for you, and you believe in yourself. And that's where you're at in this state of being. You have this secretive person or persons. They present themselves or their lives as this art exhibit, which looks really beautiful on the surface, but underneath it, it's horrible. These people, these secretive people, they wanted to keep hidden from you that they've made bad choices in life. They've played a lot of mind games. So in an X sense, they wanted to show that they could humble you by making you an option to other people, and to lower your self-esteem so that you wouldn't feel like you were a good candidate and they were confused. That's why they would hold back from you and make sure that they wouldn't make any moves quickly because they didn't want to confirm to you that you were a great catch. And the same could be in a friendship sense, is they would give you, be kind to you and be friendly, and then next thing you know, they're putting you down and playing these mind games so that you wouldn't think that you were someone of quality caliber, that you weren't much of a big deal, because they wanted you to believe you were less than, so that you could make bad choices like they're making bad choices. In a family sense, it could be the same, could be applicable, where they play the same gaslighting mind games. They make bad choices, you make bad choices, that they want the same to be for you. They also wanted to keep hidden that they're people that they stick to old relationships because they're used to them, even if they're toxic. Those relationships never get them anywhere. They never grow. They always have arguments and fights, but they never get resolved because no one's willing to say sorry. And the cycle continues over and over again, and it never gets better. But here you are in your state, preventing yourself from harm, as you're willing to leave partnerships like this. You have this person or people, secretive people, who they like to stay in nostalgia. They like to stick with the past. They like thinking about the past all the time. They want you to stay in the past. They're those types of people. So I'm getting on that. It could be parents, aunties and uncles. They're the kind that say, I remember you when you was a child, but here you are as a 40-year-old adult. They don't want nothing to change when it comes to the past. You know why? Because they benefited from things in the past when they were in the power position, and then you were in kind of a lower position. They like those days. But then when you get older, you become an adult, the dynamic changes. You're a grown adult, they're a grown adult. So you call your own shots. They don't call shots for you like when it was a parent-child relationship. So they wanted to keep hidden from you was that they were stressed out and they were having migraines and worrying. They want to keep that hidden from you, that they're very stressed out. They also want to keep hidden that they're trapped. They feel like they don't have any options. They haven't forgiven people in their life, so that's why they feel so trapped. And what's going on with you is they realize that, you have all these unspoken desires that you want to have fulfilled. So you have true feelings too. So all the things that these people have done to hurt you, you have hurt feelings from that. And there were a lot of broken dreams that you had as a result of being with these people. They kept you back from being able to achieve things that you wish you could have achieved. But that's okay, Pile 3. You can still have things in your life that make you feel fulfilled. You have these secretive people. They are represented by the streets. They follow the traffic signs and sidewalks, walk on the sidewalks. They do like what everybody else does, right? They're keeping hidden from you that, they gamble. And it could be gambling, like financially gambling, but it could be gambling or making decisions that are reckless, where they do a lot of waste of some sort, right? So they gamble in a sense that in relationships, they do things to harm others and they take the risk and they gamble that relationship. And they don't end up in a good position because of them gambling those relationships where they do harmful things to others and then hope that they get away with it. Just like when you're gambling, you hope you get a win out of it. They just would focus on the wrong things. So when you focus on the wrong things, maybe the things that would matter, like building your stability and stuff like that, they don't focus on those things. So their lives are usually chaotic. They also want to keep hidden from you that they're bitter, they're angry, and they're petty. So because of their feelings of bitterness, maybe the choices that they made in being reckless, focusing on the wrong things, made them feel salty. What's happening with you is that you're this soulmate. You've done a lot of work on yourself internally, which makes you an ideal partner, an ideal friend, an ideal daughter, an ideal son, an ideal uncle, an ideal auntie, because you've done all this work on yourself to be good to you, and so you're good to others. You have these secretive people represented by supermarket. They're always exploring options and they're always shopping. So I'm getting on that. Could be a player vibes, always exploring options for something better. And so whether this is an ex, a friend, or family members, they're gossiping about you, being nosy. They want to hear the tea, but they want it to be negative tea. That's what they're keeping hidden from you. They're keeping hidden that they're greedy, they're inconsiderate, they want to win at all costs. And what I mean by any means necessary is they want to win at all costs to beat you. So there could be some competition there. So they have secret competition with you, or I want to beat Pile 3, I want to one up Pile 3, but they're keeping that quiet, that they want to do all that to you. They also feel too, I'm getting on this with the greed and inconsideration, is that if they see you get good things happening for you, they're mad. They're like, why does Pile 3 get it but not me? Whole time, Pile 3, you probably did the work to get what you get. They wanted to keep secret from you that they knew you were like family to them, right? But they don't want to admit, they would never admit that to you, that you were like family. They know they made bad decisions and they continuously created cycles of suffering with you. They wanted to keep hidden from you that they were resentful and competitive, right? They were also discontent in their own lives, but they would keep that hidden from you, that they felt that. And they were burned out, burdened, and exhausted because of the things that they had to do in their own life that they were not happy about. But that maybe they saw that you weren't doing all of those things. That made them angry. It's like, why is pile 3 relaxing, or why are they saying no to all of these invitations, but I have to say yes? But we all have free will, so we can decide where our boundaries lie. These people probably don't have boundaries. And they see that you ghosted because you said, oh, I'm going to separate from you guys because, you know, I have boundaries and I don't accept bad behavior and betrayals and disrespect. And, you know, I'm going to make sure my health and well-being is placed first above you guys, because you shouldn't be treating me crazy and trying to make my health be messed up. This secretive person or persons, their life is very wavy. The path is very windy. You know, they're trying to figure things out on where to go. They go through things just like anybody else would go through things. Our choices that we make can determine how, you know, whether we move to calmer waters or it gets worse. So these people, you know, these winding path people, they wanted to keep secret from you that they were, you know, having a secret love affair or down low, doing stuff in the secret. So I'm getting ex vibes on this. So it could have been an ex who cheated. They also want to keep it a secret from you that they were stuck and stagnant and frozen. So even if they were in these secret relationships, they weren't going anywhere. They weren't growing. In a family sense, it could also mean too that in the down low, they were doing things behind the scenes that no one knew about, that were secretive, that was causing them to be stagnant. They want to keep it hidden that when you cut ties with them in the past, maybe you gave them multiple chances. These people, family members, exes, coworkers, bosses, when you cut ties with them, they noticed you had a glow up. So that they were offended by that glow up, but they would never tell you that they noticed your glow up. You could have glowed up physically, so you look better physically. You could have had a glow up psychologically and emotionally, so you just feel better, so you're more of a positive person. You're focused on things that make you happy, so there's a glow up on you emotionally and psychologically because you think differently. That's a glow up there. But they just saw that you leveled up in some way, shape, or form. So it could be in your a new job, a new venture, a new business, something where you wasn't doing that before, but now you're doing it, and it's made your life better. And when you had this exit with these people, you blocked them and moved on and had nothing to say. So when they would call you, you would just leave them on red and just keep it pushing. And so they're mad that you did that. And that you are on vacation, just relaxing and having fun and enjoyment in your life. That's what's currently happening with you, is that you're just trying to get away and keep some balance and peace in your life and enjoying it. Spirit, are there any other descriptions you'd like me to provide regarding these secretive people? I got someone in real estate, an acquaintance that is secretive in the things that they don't want you to know. Asian people, a religious community that doesn't want you to know these secrets. A sister or sisters don't want you to know. Pisces, a neighbor doesn't want you to know how they feel about you. Hawaiian Pacific Islander, a divine feminine. So sometimes I think with divine feminine here, it could be someone who could have been a divine feminine. So had they changed their ways, they had the potential to become a divine feminine, but instead they stayed in their darkness. So we all have free will and we can decide what path we want to be on. You can be on the divine feminine side where you elevate and heal yourself and make that choice, or you can stay exactly where you are and you stay stuck, you stay stagnant, you hurt others because you feel hurt. Are there any takeaways, Spirit, for pile 3? Beauty raises my vibration. I seek it out for healing and joy. It's beauty in beautifying your life, making it what you want to be so you can have joy. And when you have joy, your vibration rises, and that is healing in itself. So always seek out ways where you can experience healing and joy. You will know what inner peace truly feels like. Those are the messages I have for you, pile 3. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Plus comment if any of these messages resonated with you. I offer personal readings and the details are in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed your reading.